To start our Hidden Barriers project off, myself and my studio visited the Westlink area to see the range of hidden barriers that were put in place during the Troubles. The conflict began in the late 1960s and is deemed to have ended with the Good Friday Agreement of 1998. During the Troubles, peace walls were built as a series of separation barriers that separated Republican and nationalist neighbourhoods from loyalist and unionist neighbourhoods. One of the most prominent peace lines in the past few years separate the nationalist Falls Road and the unionist Shankill Road areas of West Belfast. To kickstart this project, I started at Ulster University and I made my way past the Westlink and up through the Shankill area, and then after that I went to the Falls area. Throughout my whole walk I took a lot of photos, possibly like 1,000 photos, and as you can see in this little photo album thing, I managed to narrow it down to a couple of photos. This first photo is the one that kind of gave me the inspiration to look into what I'm doing, because at the bottom you can see in Irish, or Agla Ganyani Winch Jarmid, which means least we forget, and I started to think about maybe the physical barriers aren't the only barriers, and that the mental barriers between both communities are still there, and they're still one of the main reasons that they're so segregated. So I really like that photo, and here you can see a wall with graffiti, and in the back there is a wall that says oppressed, next to Union Jacks. I just thought that really stood out to me as well. Then I went running after birds, and I just thought it was a cool photo, so I decided to keep it. I also find this shattered pint glass with the harp symbol on it, and some may say like the harp symbolises Irish culture, and I kind of like the fact that the glass was smashed, kind of like culture is shattered. I don't know. Yeah. Then there's just some photos like this that I just thought were very nice, and then here's one of the gates to the peace wall, and there's a rainbow on the other side. They're quite cheesy, but and there's the barbed wire and the black taxi next to the black taxi mural. And then these two photos especially, some of the stuff that is on the walls, such as like PSNI and so on, not welcome in this area, join in the defence of the nation. Like, there's just a lot of sectarian things. So like anyone that's walking through there, obviously what they're reading is gonna impact them, and possibly they become part of the problem because they're influenced by their surroundings. Well, after taking them photos and seeing all the sectarian things that are just like a constant reminder to the people of the community, I've researched it a little bit and found a few quotes from people on both ends of the area, and I wrote them down. It seems likely that Belfast's so-called peace lines will come down, not with a bang, but with a whimper. We're used to it. I'd rather have the wall there. It keeps us safe. The peace wall is better staying. I don't want it taken down. We had a questionnaire asking us how we'd feel if the peace wall came down. It'd just be murder on the street. I view that wall stands as long as I'm alive. I have peace and quiet when that wall is there. The Berlin Wall had to come down for Berlin to be normalised. We have normalised Belfast without taking down the walls. After reading the opinions of members of the communities in both Shankill and the Falls Road, I began to think about how there may not be riots in the streets anymore, but the negativity and this segregation is still there. To kickstart this project, I then went on to make a collage on Photoshop of the constant reminders of the past. So I just collaged a lot of the photos I've seen, so you can see oppressed and graffiti on the wall. You can see a lot of sectarian messages, just things that people aren't willing to forget. Inspired by the quotes of members of the community, I collaged my own images with images of people during the Troubles. I felt that this symbolises the fact that the sectarianism and negativity is still in these areas. I further developed one of the images into a line drawing. After doing that, using the same image, I done a quick sketch, quoting our Agla Ganyani Winch Jarmid, least we forget, at the bottom. This painting I done of a brick wall symbolises the human mind. Starting off as a baby, there's no graffiti on the wall, no opinions pushed onto them, no negativity, no sectarianism. But slowly, as they grow up, the opinions of others are pushed onto them. More and more is added to the wall until the wall is full of graffiti and they soon become part of the problem. After exploring the topic of mental barriers and trying to understand why West Belfast is the way it is, I began to focus on the physical hidden barriers and the strategies put in place to create a division. I viewed the Peace Wall on Google Maps so I could see a bird's eye view of the area. I noticed the many methods of confinement that there are in such a small place, and I decided to do a multi-layered drawing on tracing paper. I started off by drawing a house on the Catholic side of the Peace Wall. I then added a garden, a fence, a footpath, a person, a road, vegetation, the Peace Wall, graffiti, another path, another road, yet another path, another fence, and another garden.